Hello everyone, my name is Derek from TMeck, and today I'm going to be... Wow, the headphones? I don't know why the headphones make me feel great. Love these headphones. Hello everyone. I don't know why that thought came into my head. Hello everyone, my name is Derek from TMeck, and today I'm going to be watching I guess the first... I don't know if I want to call it an episode. I don't like episodes. I'm watching the first installment. In the first installment of Derek Does, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Vintage Story, and I've been playing Vintage Story for a little bit over the past couple months. I probably have 100 hours in it, but most of it is just most of it was just fighting the Bronze Age over and over and over again because cast right is terrible. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, we're gonna get right into it. And I think I'm just gonna start playing the video and then I'll explain what's going on during it. So let me just give you a little bit of a rundown of what I'm going to be doing. So I played Vintage Story, which is kind of similar to Minecraft if you've played that before. I played Vintage Story for around 2 hours, and I cut it down into 47 minutes of, I was going to say raw content, but it's literally the opposite of raw content. It's like spliced to be all the specific things that I did during the playthrough that were interesting. So I'm going to play the video now, and I'm just going to comment on it while I'm watching it. So let's start doing that now. So this is just me in the main menu. The game lets you really customize your world. So here I'm just going to click standard, but this isn't just must find steel. Yeah, I keep trying to find, well, you don't find steel, you manufacture steel basically. But steel is, if you've played Minecraft, which you probably have, if you clicked on this video, steel is like the end game material from what I know. So it's similar to, I want to say it's similar to like netherite in Minecraft, and then diamond is similar to iron, right? So in the real world, you're going to have iron be an extremely strong metal. And then when you put carbon and you mix carbon with iron, you get steel. So you do the same thing in this game, but okay, here I think I'm player lives 1, yeah. So I changed it. So usually I think it's defaulted to infinite or 30, I don't remember. But this time we're only going with 1 life. So, and this game is not like Minecraft. In Minecraft, you can punch a cow until it passes away. In this game, you can't really do that. Like a boar can really wipe out your world. So we have a hunter here. I'm not gonna play as hunter though. Really, the main focus, this is going a little bit faster than maybe I wanted it to go, but the main focus for this game is that we get all of the resources that we need, or sorry, not get, but find. We want to find all the resources we need in order to make steel. Now, steel is so resource intensive. It is like you need basically everything in the world, almost every resource in the world in order to make steel. Okay, that's not really true, but you need some really hard to find resources. And there's one thing in this game that's very different to Minecraft, and it's kinds of stone. So different kinds of stone will be found. Okay, so this is sped up, this part of the video. So when you first start in this game, the first thing you want to do is immediately make a knife and immediately get some reeds. And you might be asking, okay, well, I've never played Vintage Story before. What do I need a knife for? So to get a knife, you can immediately start getting things called reeds, which are basically, you'll see them right here. They're cattails. So you're going to be getting all of these cattails. And unlike Minecraft, you don't start with a full maximum inventory. In this game, I think you have no inventory when you start. So you have to get a bunch of cattails in order to make a thing called reed baskets. And then you equip the reed baskets, and that gives you a lot more inventory space. And so that's the first thing I'm doing here. I forgot how beautiful the game looks. I haven't played I think I played this like a week ago, and the game is just so beautiful. I really do love it. So after this, I think most of the gameplay is in 1x speed, so none of it's like sped up. But here you'll see I make 4 of these baskets, and I put them all down below on the bottom right-hand side of my, like my hand inventory. And okay, so here we actually find a trader as well, kind of like villages in Minecraft. But the traders will a lot of the time have items that are really difficult to find, or certain items that you can only get from traders. And actually metal parts are really good because you can, I'm pretty sure you can repair certain broken machines in this game with metal parts. Although I don't have any gears to give to this trader. In this game, it's kind of like how emeralds are only used in Minecraft to trade with villagers. I mean, I think you can power up beacons with them as well, but you really have emeralds in order to trade with villagers. In this game, you have rusty, like, cogs. Rusty wheels. They're called something. Rusty, it's basically like a cog wheel or a gear, rusty gears. And that's what you trade with villagers. So yeah, I think, and here you're going to see that, okay, here's a 2x speed as well. But there's a lot of, you're going to see flowers on a couple bushes. Those are berry bushes. You can kind of like replace them, similar to Don't Starve. Here I have, I forgot about this. I have like a absolute confusion. An absolute confusion. My way of words are great, aren't they? Sorry if you're not watching. I'm just placing a bunch of stuff in my inventory, confused on how to make a fire starter. And it's just dry grass and 2 sticks. And I'm just putting them in the wrong order for like 2 minutes, just in my inventory. You see I'm getting mad here. This is where the anger the anger sets in. There we go. Okay, so I finally get it, and then I'm trying to make a torch. And the reason I want to make a torch is because in this game you can equip a torch into your offhand, and then you get light. So I can now like go a little bit into a cave and search around. And caves are really valuable early game because unlike Minecraft, I'm not going to say dungeons, but there are these caves that will have structures in them, similar to maybe like a mine shaft or something else. Like there's just tons of these really close up. Oh, that was like a deer or something. There's tons of like these. Oh, I remember this is like a little bear over here. Sorry, it's skipping. Oh, yeah. Okay, bears. If I get hit by a bear, you'll actually see later. I get attacked by a bear later. I remember. That was I actually almost lost the world because of that. But oh wait, yeah. Okay. So back to what I was talking about before. In this game, I'm going to talk about stones for a second. So in this game, I'm in a peridotite, maybe. I'm in a place where there's lots of green stones, and these kind of greenish stones are just one kind of stone, but it's going to be a huge area of that singular kind of stone. And some stones are only good for like certain structures or for certain you need certain stones in order to get certain materials or certain requirements for other buildings, things like that. So you want to find, like, there's certain stones, like I'm going to say limestone, I'm going to say granite, and there's other certain stones that are like correlative to coals. So for example, in Minecraft, you can go anywhere and find coal, and in this game, you just can't do that. So there's like in peridotite, whatever, in Perry and in granite, you cannot find coal. There's no coal anywhere. So it's really interesting. Okay, so here I actually get some resin, and you can mark things on the map. So I think I marked the trader as well, but here I marked some resin. Resin's very important. I remember seeing this. I've never seen a hot spring before in the game, and this really confused me. So I just kind of looked at it for a second, and then I think I marked it as well. And you're gonna see, I think it's on like my sixth inventory slot. Right now I have 4 of these poultices, and what you do are there's like this flower you can get they're usually in different parts of forests. It's called I want to say they're called cattails, and these cattails you put in your inventory with horsetails and you get cattail poultice. And it's like the earliest game heal that you can get. And so I made 4 of them there. I'm not low on health, but I do like to have them in my inventory just in case I get hurt by something, and then I can heal up, because in this game you always want to be full health. And I'm also playing as a malefactor. I didn't get into that. So the cool thing about the malefactor is that, well, the most amazing part is that he has less health than all the other classes. But yeah, he does have a health debuff. I think another class has a health debuff as well, but he has like a 5 less health, and I think you start with around, or is it maybe 2.5 less health? It's like let's say it's a 10% health debuff, around there, maybe 10 to 20% health debuff. So it's not that bad. He doesn't have like half the health of other players, but he has a health debuff. One of the greatest things though is he has like an increased forage buff, I want to say. And what that allows him to do is whenever there's berries in bushes, he gets more berries. Whenever he digs up wild vegetables and wild fruits, he actually gets, and wild grains, he gets a buff on how much he gains there. I think whenever he picks up a stick, he gets a buff. I want to say, yeah, but the biggest reason why I chose him is because there's going to be lots of exploring. Well, this is me struggling to plant a seed. Yeah, you have to like press control or something to plant a seed. So I planted a seed there because I didn't want it in my inventory anymore. And yeah, so, oh, we found some clay. Clay is very important in this game. If you've never played this game, clay allows you to start making metal tools. If you are, for example, in Minecraft, all you have to do is smelt the tools or smelt the metal into ingots, and then you use the ingots in your crafting menu in order to craft your tools. In this game, you actually have to build molds. You have to smelt the metal right away and then pour it into the molds. And then you can also use an anvil and heat up ingots to... Oh, this was actually a really good time. Okay, so this is something that I need immediately that will help me get steel. It's technically optional, but it still helps. So there's this thing called olivine, and what olivine does is it... See, I get so excited. I get so excited at this part. So what olivine allows me to do is olivine reinforces a furnace that you make, and this furnace heats up the iron so that I can make steel. And olivine makes it so I can make more steel faster, and I don't have to replace the blocks in the furnace as often. But one of the biggest goals I had this time was to get olivine so that I didn't have to get more fire clay, because fire clay is another thing on the list which is very, very hard to find. And here's some copper. So copper is something that is a requirement to get steel, but it's kind of like, think of it like I need a stone pickaxe before I can get an iron pickaxe in Minecraft. So it's like, okay, I need copper in order to get bronze, in order to get iron, in order to get steel. So it's a bit of a process. I think I did end up finding a trader that would allow me to bypass the copper age and go straight into the bronze age. But either way, you do need copper in order to make bronze. So it really doesn't matter at this point. So here I'm just digging up some of the copper. I think I marked it on the map so that I know that it's there, so that I can come back to it. And okay, so here's a little explanation. Whenever you find little copper bits on the surface, there's always going to be copper ore below it. So that's why I mark it later. So I get the little copper bits. I need 40 of them to make tools. And okay, just there in a clip, I found a storage unit. There's these things called cracked vessels, and they have... Oh. Okay, I'm being attacked by a pig at the moment. So while you're watching me being attacked by the pig, I'm going to talk about cracked vessels. So my character here, the malefactor, he can hit cracked vessels and sometimes pick them up, and no other character can do this, only this character. So, and you see me here, I use two of my healing poultices, because the boar hit me, and that was really mean of the boar to do that. Really, actually kind of offended by that, but that's okay. So, yeah, so what was I saying? Okay, yeah, so I can pick up those cracked vessels like 15% of the time, I think it is. And what I can do is, if there's a trader who trades for them, they give me a lot of currency. So I can trade that currency to get an ore called cassiterite, and then bypass the Copper Age and go straight to the Bronze Age. And that's really the goal here, because getting cassiterite out in the wild or in nature it feels terrible. You're almost never going to find it, and if you do, it's either because of luck or if it's because of prospecting, and then it's still going to be because of a combination of prospecting and luck. I mean, cassiterite is terrible to find. There, you can also get bronze. Okay, so let me explain cassiterite. Cassiterite is how you get bronze. You mix cassiterite with copper and get bronze. You can also mix, I think it is, oh, here I found a little pink apple tree. So in this game, you can chop down these fruit trees, and then you can get some branches and replant them somewhere else in your world, and there's a low chance that they will become a new fruit tree. And so that's really cool. As you see, the torch is really helping me out here when it comes down to the nighttime. This is not like Don't Starve, where your torch isn't going to run out. Your torch is always going to be online as long as you're holding it, but if you do put your torch down, I know a lot of people will in Minecraft, they'll put torches all along the walls of a cave to tell them, hey, this is where I went and this is how to get back to the surface. In this game, if you put torches down, they will extinguish after 2 days, which is around, I want to say, an hour and a half-ish of playtime. So here I'm grabbing some flax. Flax is really important. Flax is going to it gives me a little food along the way, so I don't just have to eat berries the whole time. But really what we're looking for is we're trying to get the seeds and flax fibers. Those two, flax fibers, are important to make power in this game, which is a requirement for steel. We do need power. We need windmill power to make a pulverizer. And then we also want it to increase the size of our inventory, and we also want it for armor. So those are the three things flax fibers do, and then we want the flax fiber seeds so that we can get more flax fibers. This trader, I think Rigby, is a complete luxury trader. So different traders will trade different things. It's similar to Minecraft, where you have different specialties in the villagers, but in this game you can't change their specialty. They just have it, and then they're going to stay in one place on the map forever, as far as I know. So yeah, the biggest thing you want to do with traders is just mark them, tell yourself what kind of trader they were. Oh, I'm going into a cave here. I don't actually remember. I think I find some olivine. Yeah, so this is what olivine looks like in ore. And then I think I also found some, if I can get up, I think I also found some quartz somewhere. Yeah, so there's olivine and ore right there, so I know that there's a huge deposit there. I need 4 stacks of olivine in order to make a full level 2, furnace for the steel. Oh, I forgot, I also find a little dungeon here. They're not really dungeons. It's more like a lost civilization kind of feel. And I love these kinds of things in video games where there's like some sort of lost civilization to discover. That's why I'm a huge fan of Subnautica. So there's an old chest, which I've never seen before. An aged wooden chest. It looks so cool. So I did end up getting this. And I think I stored them at the trader. So you can store things at traders as well. They have lots of public storage, so you can just put a bunch of stuff next to a trader if you're exploring, and then the trader will hold it for you. And there's always such cool stuff in here that you can't find like anywhere else in the game. I don't know how to age wooden logs for right now. All I know is that you can find them in ruins like this, because these are called ruins from what I know. There's also things like chandeliers you can get in ruins, and they have some of the largest brightness scales in the game if you put a bunch of candles on them. Like, these things are really, really awesome. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. Oh yeah, I find there's like a little, I have to get through some logs, I think, some aged wooden logs. Yeah, I don't know if I can make wooden logs or aged wooden logs on my own, or if it's just like a story thing. These aged, the torch holder, that will allow me to have a torch on a wall forever. It's infinite. Oh yeah, and I found this. I've never found this before. It's like a themed storage vessel. Storage vessels are really, really good for storing grain in cellars. And you can basically store grain in a cellar for like 12 years in this game, which is an incredibly long, I mean, that's like, I don't know, that's like hundreds of hours, probably. Maybe not. Maybe it's 100 hours, 12 years in the game. Maybe it's more. I feel like it would be forever. So I mark it on the map. I mark cellar ? I think I do end up renaming it. Oh. I get attacked by, I think, a boatworm, which is like the skeleton version of the mob in Minecraft. Mobs, or hostile mobs I should say, don't spawn in this game like they do in Minecraft. So in this game, there are things called vortexes, and a vortex is basically like a hostile mob spawner, and they will spawn hostile mobs usually during the nighttime, but they'll start spawning like during dusk, really. Okay, so here I am at the trader, and I'm just putting a bunch of stuff away that I'm not really going to keep on my journey because they're not really essential for me to move on, so I'll probably get all this stuff later. That's really valuable. That's a lot of storage. Storage in this game is very valuable as well because it's not always super cheap to make as it is in Minecraft, where I can cut down a tree and make a gazillion chests. It's very, very different in this game. Everything is like, you need to be specifically doing it for that reason, and that's it. Like, I mean, I think it's not that hard to make chests in this game. You do need a lot of, ooh. Okay, so this is basically the spider. Like, it's kind of like a spider from Minecraft, but it's 100 times worse. It's called it's not a slither, it's called something else. It's really terrible. And I'm pretty sure it's chasing me for a long time. So I'm running back to the trader right now, because I think it takes only 2 hits for them to get rid of my entire health bar. So you have to be really careful when you're playing with 1 life. The game is basically already on hard mode. It's gonna make a noise. Yeah, it makes that noise, that kind of noise. Ugh, they're really creepy. So this is a local trader. You can trade some blue clay, some crystals. I've never really gotten a crystal in this game. I don't know. Oh yeah, I found out. So I could have traded that storage vessel for 11 gears, which is pretty good. The only problem is that I like fancy things, and so I'm probably going to keep the chthonic vessel because I want to. Because I want to. And, you know, I haven't really found any trader. It's from, you get a certain trader. It's called I think it's like a common, it's not like a common goods trader. It's like I find one later. I think I do find a trader that sells cassiterite at some point. And the only problem is that I found another fruit tree. The only problem with finding a trader that sells something is that eventually, I don't remember if it's one way, but traders will either change every 5 days what you can sell to them or what they will sell to you. And I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it goes one then the other, or if it goes both. I don't think it goes both at the same time. Because when I was testing, it seemed like a trader changed what they would buy, but never what they would sell. So I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe somebody can clarify that in the comments, but I honestly don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm going into another cave here. Probably nothing in there. Yeah, so all I'm trying to do right now is look for things that would help me get steel. I might put something over on the screen of like a little list that I made of what I need, but so let me just give you a little rundown while this is not really doing anything. So I need quartz. There's quartz on the wall right there. It's basically all the white stuff on the wall. It's very common. Quartz is very easy to get. So I need quartz. Olivine is very helpful. I need a stone called bauxite, which is a red stone. You're gonna find it in mountainous areas, but it's gonna be really obvious. Like the whole mountain's gonna be red almost. Or I'm gonna find it in kind of like hilly structures, but it's gonna be very obvious when you do find bauxite. It doesn't hide from you. But at the same time, the biomes in this game are so massive. The whole game right now I'm playing on is completely on default mode. Except for that this is one life. So I think in this part of the video, I'm trying to go more southwards because I'm not really finding anything where I'm at currently. But yeah, it seems like a biome can extend tens of thousands of blocks wide, which is really not very helpful when I'm looking for like 5 different biomes. It's not helpful. Also, I need to find places where there are coal. If I can find places where there are coal and I can prospect for coal, prospecting is a way to find different minerals. If I can find coal and locate it and pinpoint it, certain coal deposits will have a thing called fire clay in them, or I think right above them, because things spawn in layers. I know in Minecraft things spawn more like in chunks and blocks, like I mean how they're generating. In this world, when you find an ore, it spawns like a disc, like it's a long disc that expands outwards. So when you find like, and some of these discs are huge. So if I find like a huge iron deposit or a chunk in the game that has a lot of iron, or it's called like bountiful, you will basically find a huge like disc of iron that is enough for you for the rest of your entire playthrough. You do not like, I could get a couple iron blocks and have enough iron for full sets of armor. Okay, maybe not full set. Armor's really expensive in this game, but a full set of tools and a full set of any building materials at all that I would ever need. And for a full set to make the iron anvil and to make a, and to use for steel crafting. In this game, it's very different. I know in Minecraft, iron anvils are extremely expensive and cost a lot of iron, and I think may even be more expensive than getting a full set of armor. But in this game, it's iron armor in this game is so expensive, and that's why I end up going with cheaper armors, because they usually work quite well. And armor in this game has massive debuffs. So if I'm wearing like a full set of plated metal armor, I'm going at the speed of like, I don't know, a mole that's walking above ground. Like it's not like super fun to walk around with full armor, and you also get hungry so much quicker. So, but the only problem is if I'm walking around with no armor, you're gonna see later my fight with the bear. It doesn't go very well. I'm gonna leave it at that. It doesn't go very well, and I wonder if I'm actually getting close to it. But here I'm just collecting more flax. Flax is very valuable, including flax seeds. In this game, seeds are much more quantitative, not towards how much of them you're farming, but how much of them you're finding in the wild. So, for example, if I'm farming flax, I'm not going to get very many extra seeds. And farming in general is an extremely long process. So let me just give you a little representation. If I am farming flax and I put down, say 10 flax seeds, I think I might get 12 back, which is not terrible, but I might get 12 seeds back after I fully harvest them. Do you know how long it takes for flax to grow? I think on the seeds, it says it's like 15 days. 15 days in Vintage Story is the equivalent of like 12 in-game hours, maybe. Or maybe less, but I think it's like 12 in-game hours. I'm not waiting 12 in-game hours to gain 2 seeds. Like, you can't do that. So the best thing to do is to find as many seeds in the wild as possible. Oh, here, actually, I just thought this looked beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful game. Honestly. Wow. But, see, so I just keep getting flax. And with most other characters, you're not going to find them getting nearly as many seeds when they're breaking crops. Malefactor is really, really good at getting a lot of drops from wild seeds. And when something is fully grown on your farm and you've grown it, it's going to give you, I think, 3 times more produce, 3 times more of whatever it drops. So for example, if I'm using lots of examples, but I'm trying to explain the game as quickly as possible. So if I break a wild crop that's fully grown and I get 1 flax, if I break one that I've grown, it should give me around 3 to 4. Here I am, I found a massive ruins, which I kind of put down some of the bony soil, because the bony soil is pretty valuable. It's not actually that valuable, I think it's just rare, and I enjoy it. I enjoy having it and collecting it, but I'm not taking it on this journey because it takes up another inventory space, and I'm not really going to do that. Here I'm breaking a couple of these cracked vessels to see if one will drop, or to see if I can get something good. So here I get some copper tools, which I do replace with the tools that I have, or I think I only got one. I got a copper knife, so I get a little bit better of a knife. It's really not that much better. Knives aren't really good combat weapons because they have really low ranges. So and you don't really want to get that close to mobs. I would never assume anyone should fight anything with a knife in this game. It's really not very good. Bows are probably one of the best weapons in the game. There's a weapon called a Falx Blade, and Falxes are probably one of the best weapons in the game. I know there's also swords, but I've never used a sword in this game. I don't know if they're that good. I think their attack speed is pretty good, but the Falx is just one of the most... Oh, here I forgot, I actually dig into a blocked off cellar, which is going to give me a couple more items, a couple more storage vessels. I don't think any of them drop, though. I think they all just break into a bunch of little pieces, and then I get like some copper tools, so it's not really that momentous. Oh, water time. Don't look at the brand. So yeah, I think here I'm just kind of breaking some stuff, looking around. If you do break something in one of these places, it will shatter. Here I just kind of get that wasn't borax, right? I don't think it was borax, I think it was quartz. Borax is another material that I need for steel crafting. It is necessary for the iron anvil, and I think it's also necessary for the furnace. I probably should have given you a rundown about what I need. Do you sell cassiterite? No, you don't. Of what I need for the actual, to make steel. So you need a furnace, there's lots of materials that you need for a furnace, mostly stone materials. You need an iron anvil, which is only really made of iron and borax. You need lots of coal for fuel, to fuel the furnace. And I think that's pretty much it. There's not much else that you need. Found some blue clay. I think I marked it on the map. Blue clay, I think, has a 1 in 3 chance of spawning instead of red clay. So it's kind of rare. It's fun to find blue clay. Rocks. Blue clay. Blue clay. So yeah. Oh, okay. This is it. Actually, I think I'm just gonna let you watch this. I'm not panicking at all. Definitely not. Definitely no panic. No elevated heart rate. Remember, if I lose, I don't respawn. Water is my friend when evading enemies. They slow down much more than I do. Not when swimming, but just being near water, they'll slow down a lot more. So that's why I'm kind of kiting around water. And I'm not turning around anymore, because turning around, it's not good for your health when you're being chased by a bear. It's not, I wouldn't say it's very good, but at this point I do think I have lost the bear. But now there is a boar. And remember, if the boar hits me here, I lose as well. I have no armor. It does lots of damage. It does more than 4 damage a hit. I think it does around 5. So if it does hit me here, I don't think I'll survive. But boars are very slow. So I'm kind of trying to get some cattails here. And then I can use those cattails to process into cattail poultice. And then make more healables. I don't know if that's exactly what I do here. Okay, so in this case now, I just go into the cave and block myself off. But the cool thing about bears is that if you get too close to another animal, they will just try and attack the other animal, usually. So I think the boar grabbed the aggro of the bear that was chasing me. And then, yeah, so I leave, I make the cattail poultice, I heal up, and then I kind of just leave. Yeah, okay, and I find some more copper somewhere. Always good to find more copper. I felt like copper was being very rare to me, or at least I wasn't finding it. It is kind of hard to spot sometimes, but copper in general, you should be able to find quite a bit of it in the early game. I remember I was going to mark an apple tree over there, but there was a wolf next to it. I don't think you've seen wolves yet. Wolves are nasty. I'm going a little faster here with the cuts because I don't really think I'm trying to kind of skip through things that you've already seen, but next time we'll probably slow it down a little bit with the cuts. So this is a commodities trader. I think the commodity traders are the only traders that do sell cassiterite, and these ones do not. So here's more. Oh, here's a lot of copper. I forgot. Okay, so I find like a huge ring of copper, which pretty much almost gives me all the copper I need in order to make my first two tools that you need in order to actually mine and smelt copper. So the strategy is you find copper on the surface until you have 40 copper bits, and then once you have those, you can use those 40 copper bits in order to make 2 tools, the pickaxe and the hammer. And once you have the pickaxe and the hammer, you can then start mining copper ore and then breaking it down and then smelting it. So it's a long process, but it took me, okay, this was one of the happiest times I've ever been in my entire life. Finding brown coal bits is so incredibly rare. If you're constantly in peridot, in places where there's peridot or places where there's granite, you almost never find coal, and to be in a place where there's shale and to actually find coal, it just felt like a blessing. I mean, look at that, the sun's coming over and there's some brown coal. Brown coal basically allows me to smelt any ore in a campfire. It allows me to heat up ingots. I mean, it just saves so much time. And it also gives me a chance to use coal as an alternative fuel, I believe, for fire clay. Or should I say for flint, because you can actually make flint into fire clay, and it's a 1:8 ratio, so it's actually pretty good. So if I have a stack of flint that I've charred, you can use the flint that you've charred in order to make, if you have a stack of charred flint, you can make 8 stacks of fire clay. So it's a really good way of making fire clay if you can't find any, although I think finding it is a lot better. So here we actually went into a very small cave opening, immediately find some copper ore, and then we find this huge, I still don't know what these are. I've only found one other place like this, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's, I mean, it's definitely an abandoned, I want to say storage place. More, it looks like an abandoned mine almost, where it looks like they may have exploded a large area and then built something in it and then stored a bunch of stuff in it. So this here, we find some malachite, which I believe is like copper, but you can only find it really, really deep underground. And then we also have a lot of other things that we can't really pick up. I think we end up finding a chest somewhere, but I'm really not sure. See, most things will say like junk on them, or ruined, or broken, and that's basically saying that we can't use them anymore. See, those are ruined tools. Sometimes in these places you'll find things, oh, I fell. Sometimes you'll find things that will say broken parts, or I think they're called new parts or something, and those we can use to fix translocators, which is basically a teleporter, but I've never actually been able to do it, so I have no idea how it really works or where it's going to take me, or I'm not really sure. Here we find a shovel, I think we find some coal, a broken anvil. I don't know if we can fix an anvil. You can fix things in this game if you have resin and I think charcoal. You can fix things using glue, but I've never done that before and I have no idea how it works. So like, I don't know, I was thinking, because I saw a video earlier that somebody could maybe fix an anvil, but I haven't found any proof that for sure you can actually fix a broken anvil. So I was thinking maybe I should have picked that up, but at the same time I have so much copper, I don't think it's gonna matter, but we'll see. Might have been an oversight, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So here I'm having a really hard time naming what this is. I did find a Molino de Chocos. I think that's how you pronounce it. Molino de Chocos lantern, which is probably one of my favorite things in this entire game. It looks so nice, in my opinion, compared to the orange of the copper. Oh yeah, and I found this. Lime is something that I need as well for a couple different things in this game. Not just for steel, but for leather and things like that. And in this game, it looks like it's lime. Lime is it's like a very white looking, like chalky kind of stone. And to see it next to flint, it made me think there might have been lime or chalk underneath the flint, but I wasn't really sure. So here's a little fight I had with a boar, which ended up turning into a fight with 2 boars, which ended up turning into a fight with, I think, a 3rd boar comes around the corner when I try to get them in the pond. Yeah, a 3rd boar. So I just leave because I'm not going to fight 3 boars when I have almost no tools and I'm just trying to hit them with like the base gear. I think if they hit me 3 times as well, I think I lose. So it's really not a very good place to be at in this game. I don't really remember what I end up doing. Oh, I remember one part. Which was actually, I felt kind of like not so happy about this. It might be coming up here. Okay, so here's actually, there's like a universal guide in this game where you can look up how to make different things, and it'll tell you what they do. So like if you have an item, it'll tell you kind of what you can make with it, how you make different things with it. And so here I look up how to make a linen sack, which will allow me to hold, I replace it with one of the baskets, and it allows me to hold 2 more slots in my inventory, and you'll see right here, see it opened up 2 on the bottom. So that makes my inventory a little bigger, which is good. And I can do that over time. So as I keep finding more and more flax fibers on the ground, I can continually make my inventory a little bit bigger. I think the maximum is I can increase it by 8 more slots, I believe, for the linen sacks. After that, you can make backpacks. You can make, I think there's like an upgraded backpack. I've never made those before. Oh. So this was a really confusing time when I was filming this. I think there's a glitch where if you stand, or if you don't move midair and you're falling, I don't think you take fall damage. Which, for me, I honestly just felt like a sense of like, oh, I lost the world. Like I was falling midair, I was like, this is it. It's over. And then I think I actually just took my hands off the keyboard. And then I was just like, oh wait, nothing happened. And I was definitely supposed to take fall damage there. So after I get out of this cave, I think you're gonna see me kind of just stand still and be confused. Cause I was like, wait, can I process what just happened? Cause I was thinking, I was like, should I have lost the world there? Should I have taken fall damage? What should I do? You know what I mean? It didn't feel good, so I wasn't sure what to do. And then after this, I find a ruins, and then immediately find Swevite, which Swevite is... I get really happy here, too. Swevite is... Swevite is a stone that appears above meteoric iron, which is a really, really beautiful metal that you can craft once you obtain the iron anvil, or that you can make into tools once you made an iron anvil. So I end up being very happy once I find this, and it makes me feel like I should keep playing, because I was like, okay, well, even though I maybe should have lost there, the game was like, here's some meteoric iron for you, which is, I mean, once I start smelting it, you'll be like, oh, this is why he was so happy over it. I don't know, I love when things look really nice. They look really cool. You'll see, it's like, it just looks so cool. The tools, the lantern, it's kind of aesthetic, like only for aesthetic purposes, but it's just really, really nice. And it's so rare, but each vein does give you a lot of meteoric iron. So for example, you have to get a lot of different metals in order to make one ingot, but when it comes to meteoric iron, some bits will make it so you can just make a lot of ingots. It's like very dense. I think that's where the video ends. Yeah, so that's where it ends. And man, every single time I end a video, I'm like, oh, I wish it could go on for a little longer. Well, that's it. So yeah, if you liked this style of video, please comment down below. If you want to see me play anything else, please go into the Derek Does form down below and fill that out. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me if you want me to play a certain video game, vlog something, go somewhere, do whatever, just tell me. Yeah, so I'm probably going to make this a series, probably going to post one of these a week. And if you like it, tell me. If you want to see something a little bit different, if you want to see a style change, tell me. And yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day. And I'll see you later, hopefully. Click on the next video. Like, subscribe, comment. You know what to do. I feel like the most refined YouTuber in the world. Like I know everything. Okay. Who's gonna cut out the video? Too long. My outros are too long. I just don't want the video to end. Okay. See you later. Bye. I'm gonna turn the camera off. There's nothing you can do about it. My water. No.